All right, this is Young America. We are back, and today I'm going to go on a little rant about scams. And when I say scams, I'm not even talking about like just your general scammer that's doing something illegal, because obviously that's bad and this stuff happens, but I'm not even super concerned about. I mean, yeah, it's a problem. I mean, this stuff happens, but what I'm really going to rant about today are legal scams. I'm talking about, you might have seen these on job postings. You might have fallen for one yourself. You might have even gotten to the point where you started working for one. That happened to me briefly last summer, and I'll get into that just a little. I'm not going to get too much into detail because of, privacy concerns and all about that. But I wanted to talk about scams because I think they represent the absolute worst of our society.
They heard about the Rolexes and the Lexus with the Texas license plates out of state. They heard about the pounds you got down in Georgetown, and they heard you got half of Virginia locked down. They even heard about the crib you bought your mom's out in Florida, the fifth corridor. Call the coroner. It's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing.
These are companies that are totally legal. At least I think they are. I don't know anything. I'm sure there's some sort of regulations, but clearly these companies are not, breaking the law in having this structure as a company. These are companies which are pyramid schemes. And when I say that, essentially, they are usually advertised as like marketing jobs, but really what it is you have the people on the top, say Verizon or whoever it is, and they want people to sell things for them. And so they hire people that are going to be the middlemen. And the middlemen are the people that essentially their job is to sell things, whether it's door to door or however it is, their job is to sell things for Verizon. And look, there's nothing wrong with selling things for Verizon or anything else, other company. That's not the problem. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about specifically these marketing firms that are not actually marketing firms. They're explicitly set up to recruit people, to trick people into doing door-to-door sales for these energy companies, for Verizon or other phone companies, for other big corporations. And they have this whole process where they go through a bunch of people, and they have people working hours and like really long hours in shit conditions for virtually no pay. It's for like commission pay. I suppose if you're really good at your shitty job, you could get like a somewhat decent commission out of it, but they'll advertise like a much higher commission. They'll advertise fake roles, and the whole thing is just complete and utter fucking bullshit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I fell for this the first one time, and I almost fell for this, but at the interview, I once I got to the place, now, when I go to a place for an interview, and if I see something like that, that I can kind of get the sense if something is a scam. But if any of you, you're out there, you're looking for jobs, and you see something, here are your signs of how to avoid a scam.
I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel.
So first thing you should do is if you want to avoid the scam is you should see how soon did they get back to you, and are they inviting you immediately to come into the office. That is a big red flag right there. If you get a text message saying, "Hi, this is so-and-so from bullshit scam company. We want you to come in." Okay, sorry, I don't know what the fuck that voice is. Anyway, they're like, "Oh, hi, we want you to come in from 10 to 12. We have available time. Book this today, but don't wait too long now." They're saying that, it's probably a scam, okay? Let's face it, you're not like Superman. You're probably not the smartest man in the world. They probably don't want you to come in, immediately because you applied there, and they're probably not super worried that anyone's not going to sign up to join their company if they don't get back to them within like an hour, okay? So that's the first sign that they're a scam. Your second sign is, well, first of all, there's certain buildings that have a bunch of these places. In New York City, 8th Avenue near Midtown has a bunch of these places. I don't want to name any specific locations because I don't want to get anybody in trouble in this case, and I don't want, and also, privacy concerns, etc. But 8th Avenue, I call that the scam district in Midtown. There are a bunch of those buildings over there that you should not go to because, well, I shouldn't say you shouldn't go to, but if it's in a building that seems to have other scam type companies in it, there's a decent chance that place is indeed a scam. Third thing is you should check out the name, and definitely check out the Yelp review or some kind of review, the Glassdoor review. That's how now I'll search something up if it seems sort of scamish, like, it has this sort of like cool name that doesn't say anything, and then it says like, marketing agency, but it won't actually tell you what it's marketing or what it's advertising or anything like that. and it's not like a professional looking agency, but rather some sort of like small marketing agency, then there's a decent chance it's a scam. That in itself does not mean that it's a scam, but that right there is a warning sign. You want to be able to see what it is. Second of all, if you're contacting them over the phone or you're contacting them via email or whatever, and they're saying that we cannot tell you exactly what we do until we see you in person, that is a huge, huge red flag. Do not even fucking show up at that interview. They're telling you we can't know what you do, okay? Unless they're the CIA or some shit, then it's just a total fucking scam if they're not going to tell you what it is. And the problem with these places is that a lot of times it's the same company has multiple different names. And again, something to really be aware of. The companies, they'll disguise themselves by having multiple different names where they're doing the same exact thing. You know, they'll have the same exact thing where maybe someone's kind of moved up in the ranks, where they've gone a little higher in the pyramid scheme, and they'll try to hire you to do your dirty work for them for virtually no money. And I think these scams have a more outsized presence than they actually are overall in life and overall in the economy. You know, they have an outsized presence on job boards, I should say. Because they advertise everywhere, and they're on all the job boards and Indeed and LinkedIn, etc. So you'll see more stuff about scams on these job boards and actually, you know, make up the economy and make up, you know, the jobs there are in the country. That said, I still think the presence of all these scams in New York City, and I'm sure they're in other places too, is a sign that the economy is troubled in some ways. And look, the economy could be worse. You know, I know unemployment is low, or certainly it's lower than it's been. I know there's like the rate's a little deceiving, but still, we have a pretty low unemployment rate. We have pretty high GDP, but that stuff's good. Don't get me wrong. High stock market, that's good. Don't get me wrong, but still, the presence of these scams as taking up jobs, significant amount of jobs and significant amount of space in the job board, it is a sign that our economy is not totally healthy, that there are, because people that are working for these places, these people are getting totally fucked over, but yet they're still counted as unemployed, even though there's a decent chance that they could be pretty poor, that they could really be suffering, and they could only be doing this because they absolutely have to. Because I'm sure these people recognize it's a scam. I'm sure they also take advantage of, say, immigrants, people who don't speak English that well. But the point is that the presence of these scams, the fact that there are so many of them that are clearly, you know, I think they're stably existing in New York, and that there are so many of them, is a sign that there is something wrong with the state of our economy today. Now, I'm not a communist. I'm not suggesting that these scams are characteristic of companies or characteristic of corporations in general. But I think that they do represent the worst of capitalism. They represent the worst of our economy. They represent the worst of corporations and capitalism today. And, you know, a lot of these big corporations are who they end up doing the selling for anyway. So even if so the corporations do end up profiting off of these scams in some way, even if they're not, you know, technically liable for them. I don't think they're the ones setting up a lot of these places. But anyway, if you see something that looks suspicious on a job board, you're looking for a job and you see something that says like, you know, marketing employee or, you know, sales, blah, 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 and they say like field marketing or something else just doesn't feel right. Just look it up, go to Glassdoor, go to Yelp, be suspicious. If they send you a message saying like, oh, yay, come in now for this interview, you know, be suspicious, contact someone. If they tell you, oh, we can't tell you what we're doing, it's a secret, be really, really, really fucking suspicious. So bottom line is, fuck scams. This is Young America. Have a great day.